telling you, man, you should have been in the room. It was fucking intense.
We'll talk about that too. Pipe exploding at you, almost dying at your work.
My fucking ears pop, the lights blow. I had to take when I left that day. When I told you I couldn't do it, man, my lungs are so sensitive to dust and shit now. And I was just fucking headache, stomach ache. I felt fucking awful, bro. I left. I got a test on, and then I left. Okay, we're live, but
we're live. All right.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Davey on everything, and welcome back to the podcast. We have episode number 32. Back again with us, our very special friends of the show. We got Roan and Devin from Raised by Comedy. Sorry, I'm so bad with words sometimes. Conjunctions, things that go together. Not my forte. They're back again because we had a fantastic episode last week, and we've done some other video. I've done some videos with them on their channel, and it's been pretty funny. So if you are in the business of laughing, go have a look at those. All right, boys. So welcome back. Devin, you're a little hungover today?
A little bit, yeah.
Devin went a little wild last night, had some drinks.
Yeah, a few.
The rest of us were sleeping, preparing for this episode.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
Alrighty, guys, so we're going to get into a few topics today. I think the first thing I've been on my mind, actually, is I've been seeing a lot about the new, well, not the new, because it's been kind of in the news and in the media for a while, is the Cybertruck. What do you guys think about the Cybertruck? First of all, what do you think about Elon? Just a short feelings about it. Yeah, I'm a fan too.
A lot of people like Elon. I'm not against Elon.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that most of the super rich people have some sort of corruptness to them.
Sure.
So it's hard to believe that Elon would be completely a good guy. You know what I mean? So I think Elon's kind of playing both sides a little bit as far as that goes.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of most people in the public eye at all. Celebrities and singers, and like you said, most people at that point, they've compromised or they've made some, you know what I mean? They're looking out for themselves. So,
yeah.
But Elon, I think there's very few people I have some faith in are at that level of status, and Elon is one of them. So the Cybertruck, though, I'm not sure. I guess it's probably going to be, they're rolling out production soon, is the thing.
No, they're shipping them now.
They're shipping them out. So production, they're built, and anybody who's pre-ordered them like 4 years ago,
yeah,
they're going to get them.
It was like 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say,
COVID.
we've seen them being talked about for a long time now.
They're pretty fucking cool, if you ask me.
They are.
They've got an interesting look. I'd say their look is pretty...
Everyone hates them because of their futuristic look, and I think that's the only thing they talk shit about.
I think that's poor people, man.
But the specs on it destroy any other truck on the market.
It's crazy. They're out-towing a lot of...
Yeah.
Even diesels.
And not only, this is the first Tesla that has all 4 tires turn.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
That's cool. One thing I will say about Tesla and the electric vehicle... the whole electric vehicle thing is that they need to work on price and they need to work on range.
Yeah, range is big.
I'm noticing that some of the range on some of these vehicles are not as high as
it's garbage.
We would like them to be. Yeah,
electric vehicles, in my opinion, are mostly shit. Tesla is really the only electric car we need. Like GM, these guys don't, and it's obviously showing it's flopping big on besides Tesla.
Yeah,
GM and Ford. GM's like the next one up. Like, they're the next highest sales, and they don't even touch Tesla. And I don't know, they've put billions of dollars into electric vehicles now in production and advertising, and it's not panning out for anyone else besides Tesla.
A lot of electric vehicle companies are actually losing money on their cars.
Absolutely, they are.
Whereas Tesla's actually the only one that's profiting off of selling cars.
And made in America. The batteries are even made in California. Like,
no, they just did they're making batteries... I don't know if they're transforming in Windsor. I think they're making a plant there.
Yeah, our local's on that project. There's a battery plant in Sarnia.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's in Sarnia. No, it is Windsor. It is Windsor because we had a guy just come from there.
True.
Doing at the Windsor plant.
It's just a battery plant.
Absolutely, for electric vehicles. I'm not sure like which one specifically, but the Cybertruck, I think I would buy. The price isn't too bad, so I'm assuming this is in American dollars. It was like $70,000 to $100,000, depending on the features, which is pretty good because a pickup truck is in that range, a full size pickup truck.
The top of the line one I think is 110,000.
So like
For a pickup truck isn't too bad,
No.
especially if you go into the specs of the vehicle.
yeah,
Again, minus the range.
Yeah.
But everything else about the vehicle is phenomenal.
I think
The
so.
strength of it, like you
Oh,
can
it's
hit it
insane.
with a baseball bat, whatever you name it, and the door won't dent. The glass, we've seen in Elon Musk's demonstration that it definitely can be shattered
For
with,
sure.
steel, whatever.
That was 5 years ago.
it was.
So maybe it's better now, or maybe it's not. But regardless, it still took that hit pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
didn't shatter though.
and then I think we saw a video about a Tesla truck racing a Porsche.
Yeah.
While it was
Yeah.
towing the same Porsche it was racing.
That's
and,
crazy.
And beat the
Did
Porsche
a quarter
still.
mile race.
It's great.
and
So that's
Teslas
pretty
are
phenomenal.
great for that.
Yeah.
They can accelerate like that. Okay, maybe their top speed isn't as much as other vehicles, but the acceleration, if you're doing like a sprint, that matters the most. They can
Yeah.
pick up so quick. They're gone.
Yeah, when's anybody
the-
ever doing 200 clicks
model-
on the highway, right?
Yeah.
Like,
The Model S Plaid does 322.
Which is insane. That's like Bugatti levels.
yeah.
Like that's a fast fucking
For sure.
car.
And it's a sedan, too. A family sedan. Isn't that nuts? Like,
Yeah, Tesla's easily like the best car. Like quality wise, Teslas are
yeah.
unmatched.
And mind you, I speaking for all of us here, I don't think either of us have driven a
No,
Tesla before.
absolutely not.
But I'm imagining just the experience of driving a Tesla would be so much different than a regular car.
I think so.
With the self-driving controls and everything,
sure.
like it can take you around a parking lot without touching the steering wheel. You can be rolling up a doobie while you
Yeah, yeah.
your car takes you around the parking lot, finds you a parking space.
Insane.
You know what I mean? And it's just its ability to accelerate with seamless ability is really cool
Just
as well.
unmatched. So I think you're like you said, the range can be better.
Range and the price. Let's say that too. Cause
What's a Tesla go for?
think
In
50
American
grand.
dollars? 50 grand American?
50 grand and change for
That ain't
the
terrible.
cheapest.
That ain't
For the
that bad.
cheapest.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
It's not too bad, but it's
think-
pricey though. Like
I think eventually they'll probably hit. You got to understand, like with higher production and more demand, the price comes down.
but we are reaching 2024 here, and I think like we all know how the world's going as far as how expensive everything is. And
Okay, fair
I
enough.
think for the middle class, it'd be nice to have a decent car like that.
Yeah.
That's worth like 25, 30 grand. Even
Yeah.
trucks too. Like
sure.
not even electric vehicles. Not even on the topic of that, but like trucks in general too. Like there's no truck that you can get for like 30 grand.
No.
Like what if somebody just wants a regular truck for a regular person? It doesn't
Absolutely.
really exist.
It's
you know? You're
insane now.
spending 50, 60, 70 grand on a truck.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think stuff like that needs to drop a little bit.
I think a lot of that is like that's the most popular vehicle in North America, or
Mm-hmm.
pickup trucks now, right? And especially Ford F-150s are the best-selling vehicle in
Yeah.
the United States. So they're taking advantage of that. To a
Absolutely,
point, right?
and like knowing that people are still gonna buy them.
Yeah.
But if you look back 80 years, when
For sure.
cars, most if not all cars, costed between like $5,000 and $10,000.
Yep.
Now we're looking at like the cheapest model of cars. They're costing like 30 grand and
Sure.
more if they're not used.
Well,
that being said,
Even in like when I was
it's very high.
in like 2009 when Hyundai Accents were $9,999 base
Brand
model.
new off the lot. Yeah.
In 2009, and other cars were still $30,000,
Yeah.
$40,000, but Hyundai was making $10,000 cars. And yeah, they're nothing special. You had crank windows and shit, but you get a brand new car for 10 grand.
Exactly, that's what I
The
mean. Like a
Canadian
regular
dollars.
person,
I forgot about crank
not everybody needs
Yeah.
all the tips and tricks on their
No.
cars. Not everybody needs a laptop as their dashboard. Not everybody
No.
needs heated seats and
I'm
leather
good with none of
seats.
that.
Exactly. Some people want it, which is fine, but having both options available, I think, would be great for the economy and the car market.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll see where Tesla goes with that because I don't know. I think Elon is fairly reasonable and he's just a smart man. So and he's a man of the people. Seemingly.
That's what I like about these. There's a couple other celebrities that are like him, because I hate Hollywood to the,
Oh,
like when you watch the Oscars, it's like
sickening.
I'm watching people clap to other people and
Yeah.
they just don't understand the real
No.
world. But you got like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, and there's a lot of other people but what they do day to day is they talk to like normal people, and it keeps them like not in their own reality. It keeps them grounded with this is actually what's going on.
Yeah.
Those people
And
are very
those
out of
celebrities-
touch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, what?
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No,
but
out
they're
of
just
touch.
super out of touch with what's happening in the
Oh, yeah.
with people that make 5-figure salaries.
I think you
Yeah.
see it the most in music influencers. where they just become so out of touch.
Yep.
And then like a lot of the times with other millionaires or billionaires, they won't like fall off, but they'll become out of touch. But with musicians, we'll see them get out of touch, and then we'll see that effect of being out of touch, how it affects them.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, so I think we'll definitely see where these Teslas go. I think Elon understands the market. He understands people's needs, and I think he understands that these big bloated companies like General Motors and Ford, and they're very just out of touch with the people.
Yeah.
And if he can make a car that's better and costs less, he'll do it.
And I think we're reaching the point where we're like humanity's ready for something new as far as power source for vehicles and whatnot goes.
Yeah.
I think the gas engine is a bit dated at this point. It's been around for so long, and I think there is better ways to fuel an engine aside from fossil fuels.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. We also don't have that's the biggest part with electric vehicles. The infrastructure is not there, especially in places like Texas, and where their electrical grid is old and dated. It can't. If everybody, everybody in Cambridge got a Tesla and got a supercharger in their garage, and they're all charging their vehicles simultaneously every night, it would be super taxing on their power grid.
Yeah,
that's the next issue they're going to be facing.
Where it works well is like Europe. Everything's close. Countries are close.
Sure.
But like when you start getting into like North America, where you're going over mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't. How do you put infrastructure there?
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Well, even this, like, okay, look at my house right now. Like, when they build new subdivisions, they put everything underground, right? All the electrical is underground. I'm still on wood posts. Even all my internet is on. If you look behind us here, it's all on wood poles, and it flies over like. And this is just one example, right? Like, and this is an area that's booming. So if you look at other parts of the country, or even in the United States, where there's no money being spent on infrastructure, they got a long ways to go before everyone can have an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
And they're aiming for like 2030 or something, right?
Yeah.
Which is not a realistic number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see. A lot of stuff if all they have to do is that infrastructure, take away gas stations, add electric charging stations, and skyrocket the price of gas, and then most people will switch automatically without having to tell them.
It's a couple decades of construction.
I think so.
Is the problem?
Yeah,
that's the problem,
true,
right? Especially in like a lot of the United States, where
and especially for working for a construction site like both of you guys can kind of ballpark how long you think something like that would take, right?
Even in someone's house. Okay, this house is built in like 1900. My panel has been upgraded like 20 years ago. If most houses have like a 200 amp service when they're built, but houses in this area probably have 60 amp service. It doesn't work for charging your electric car. Like, you'd have to upgrade. Every house would have to have a 200 amp service and its own circuit breaker, its own disconnect to run that supercharging charger. So there's a lot to it. We'll get there. I don't want to see away with fossil fuel vehicles, but there's a lot of work before we get 100% off them. But yeah. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see in the next couple of decades. Things are going to be sloppy.
Definitely, I think a lot of stuff will change in the next couple of decades.
Cars, like man, his rockets are insane.
Oh, it's crazy,
how they
man.
can launch and land.
It's crazy.
Well, only one of them can do that right now.
No,
the Falcon.
The Falcon 9.
Yeah,
I think, but Falcon. No, but then he has Starship, and that can go to Mars, and the load it can carry is insane. But
those are crazy.
We've never seen that before.
And they were so close to bankruptcy. Like, they kept fucking up. They would launch these things and they would crash. Well, there's $20 million. There's $20 million. Yeah. And they were so damn close to one more failure, and SpaceX and Tesla both would have went under. That's how close they were to failure.
But then they got a deal with the government, with the U.S.
Yeah, once they landed that Falcon, like, woo! Woo!
Yeah.
They did it, boys.
Yeah.
They were coming back, but yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Another thing I want to talk about, because I've said this on the show previously, but I'm no longer smoking any kind of weed, or I haven't been drinking at least in a few weeks now. And the dreams, I probably went 5 years with no dreams. Like, I didn't dream at all.
Just,
you know what I mean?
You go to sleep
just
and you wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Go to sleep. Oh, fuck. Gotta go to
travel.
work.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming like insane. Crazy dreams I've had. Such like vivid dreams. Just so intense. And it's been on my brain for like a week now.
The dreams are starting to feel like an episode of Rick and Morty, eh? Like
It's
they're like
wild.
mind blowing.
It's
You wake up
wild.
and you're like, holy hell, what an experience! Isn't it amazing how your mind can make up a bunch of memories that never existed?
It's almost scary
Yeah.
because like you could almost cross the line of like what is like if you're like schizophrenic or something, like
It could fuck with you.
The
you know
line
what I
is
mean?
blurred of
Yeah.
what's real and what's not real.
And it makes you wonder, like, where base reality is. Like, is even our is like being awake, like right now at this table, is this reality? You know what I mean? Like,
It's crazy.
if a dream can feel so real, and while you're in it, feel like it is the only reality that is there.
Yeah.
And then when you wake up, you realize that you're in this reality, and you strongly believe that you're in this reality.
Yeah.
Would it be so hard to believe that we're in maybe not a dream, but like,
Who knows?
I don't know, maybe we're in an arcade machine, and
Yeah.
some aliens playing an arcade machine
Yeah.
live a life or whatever.
Yeah.
And in that game, they live a whole life.
For sure.
And then whenever they die, they come out of the game, and the whole thing feels like a dream. And their buddies are like, "Oh, how was that? How was that 5 minutes?" But
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
game, it felt like a whole life. Just like a dream might feel like eternity, but then you wake up and you're like, "Oh, it was only 5 hours."
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
interesting.
I remember like sometimes I'll listen to these like just like little spooky stories when I'm at work in my headphones. And there was this one where this dude volunteered to go into what do they call those, like where it's sensory deprivation chamber? No
yeah.
sound, you
Yeah.
can't feel it. But he was also hooked up to like numbing, so he couldn't feel his body either. Couldn't hear anything. He was completely blacked out and
Yeah.
blind. And then they pumped him with they gave him hallucinogenic drugs or something. I forget the exact, maybe ketamine or something. And he's in this thing and he starts tripping out, you know what I mean? He's tripping. And then it gets to the point where it's like he's in there, he thinks he's in there for like weeks and weeks and months and months and months and months and months, and he's just like, so then it gets to the point where the trip gets to the point where he's tripping about coming out, you know what I mean? And he's imagining all these he imagines now he's out of the chamber and now he's back living his life outside of the chamber, but in reality he's still in the chamber, but
And
his
that
mind is
is
fucking
all-
with him so bad.
That's like fucking Inception.
It's like Inception almost, and it's like this cycle in his mind. It's a cycle of like he's in the chamber, oh I'm not in the chamber, he's in the and he goes crazy
Yeah.
because his mind just can't, it breaks his mind.
There was an episode of the Dave Show on Disney Plus. I don't know if you've
Yeah, I've watched.
heard.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've
if
watched
you've
Dave.
seen it.
Yep, with Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky,
Yeah,
yeah.
funny, pretty
So
funny.
at the end of the second season, there is an episode where it's called Enlightened Dave, and it's like when he finds himself basically and finds his true inner self and his ability to rap seamlessly and everything like that.
Yep.
And how he did it was he went to this guy's house and he went in the same sort of chamber where he lays in the water. It closes. You can't see anything, can't hear anything.
Right.
You feel like you're like floating in space sort of because you're in a chamber of body temperature water.
Yep.
And the same sort of thing happens to Dave in the show where he thinks he comes out of the chamber, experiences all this weird stuff, meets himself,
Yeah.
but in like his enlightened self and everything like that. And then when he finally comes out of the chamber in real life, he's like came to terms with himself. He's
Some kind of understanding.
He's got a better understanding of his spiritual self and who he's trying to be in life. And
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool episode. I really liked the spirituality aspect of it.
That kind of brings me to the question is like, so we have this like dream, we dream, which is some sort of like plane of consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then if you take, say, a sensory deprivation, you kind of hit the same thing, right? Where you're out of body almost. It's like an out of body experience. And if you were to take like mushrooms or DMT, you kind of hit that same like plane in your head, right? It's like, I don't want to call it a realm or anything.
I'd say the difference would be that when you're tripping off of mushrooms and whatnot, your eyes are awake and you can see, hear,
Sure.
and you are aware of where you are, whereas in a situation like a dream or that chamber, you're not.
Okay, so mushrooms may not be the best example. Let's say...
No, I think it's a good example.
I'd say maybe DMT is a better example.
Yeah, that's probably pretty
I've never done DMT, but let's like take other people's experiences and their testimonies. It's like...
I've done it once.
Yeah, okay, so you explain it. Do you think... when you took DMT, were you conscious that you were on drugs?
Yes, mind you, I didn't take that DMT that Joe Rogan talks about on his podcast.
Okay.
There's a couple different strains of
Sure.
DMT that exists. And the one that Joe Rogan talks about on his thing where he's like, do you ever try DMT? You know, everybody knows the meme, right?
Yeah.
That's 5-MeO DMT. That's
Yes.
like a 3-hour
Yes,
brutal, get catapulted into space type high. The one I took, it's called NN DMT.
Right.
It lasts a similar length to like something like salvia.
Sure.
So like
20 minutes or something?
15, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was extraordinarily intense. Like
Right.
I took it. It was in the form of a dab. Or like shatter or
Yeah,
something like
like a
that.
bong
Yeah,
toke or
like an
something.
oil. It was in the form of an oil, and I took it out of a rig, an oil rig.
Yeah.
And I felt it the moment I like took all the smoke in my body. Where like weed, you blow it out, you cough. 10 minutes later, you feel baked.
Yeah.
This, I was feeling it like before I blew it out.
Was it scary? Like when it started to hit you, were you like?
I
yourself?
wasn't scared. No, like it definitely. You're not scared. It's.
I think I
the
would be.
the best way to describe it. I don't think you would be. Just because of how the drug affects you, though. Okay. I think the best way to describe it would be like, it's like sort of like a blissful feeling that you get like sometimes in life, but it's a familiar feeling,
Like euphoric?
but you've never experienced it in such abundance.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I don't know, like
Like
you know when you're on a hike and you're like looking over
Sure.
that like
Like a
peak
serotonin dump?
yeah, or something like that. Like you're looking over that like mountain peak and you're like, you know, this is nice. You're content.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
you're like, I don't need to like talk or anything right now. I just want to like take in the moment. I don't know how to explain it, but like sort of like that feeling, but like 100x. Like
Okay.
it is an indescribable
That's
feeling,
wild.
but it is in a way familiar. And yeah, it's a weird. It's a pretty undescribable
Well,
experience.
What was the setting that you were in when you did it?
I was at a park. It was probably 9 p.m. at night.
With people?
And it was in the summer, and I was with one friend
That sounds
who
nice,
loaded it with me, and he packed it for me.
Yep.
Said it wasn't too big. It was big. I blew it out, and I didn't say anything. Not that I couldn't speak, but I just didn't want to speak. I just wanted to take in the feeling that it was giving me. And I proceeded to get up and lay on the ground because what felt like was happening was that gravity had suddenly become stronger. I felt like I was being like pulled into the earth. So instead of like fighting it, I just got up and laid right on the grass. It was in the summer, and then I just looked up into the stars. Probably about 5 minutes went on where I was just experiencing the feeling
Embraced it.
Just embracing it, yeah.
Just let it
Like I
take
said, you can talk, like,
Yeah.
but he didn't ask me anything because he knows how it feels.
Yeah.
And when I was ready, I was like, wow, that was nuts. And yeah, it was so long ago that I'm having a harder time explaining it
Yeah, no,
than
for
I
sure.
would have been
That's
able
what
to
happens.
back then.
That's what happens. Almost as soon as you get out of it, you have to like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to like process it, and if you can record it, that's what you need to do. Because the longer you're out of it, the more it just becomes a distant feeling and memory.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's crazy.
But I think it was a great experience. If I had the chance to get more, I absolutely would.
You
If I
should.
had the chance to do it again, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is that it's a very rare substance to come across. There's not many people that you're going to meet in life that's going to be like, yeah, I have this, or I make this, or I know a guy that makes this or has it.
Yeah.
It's going to be very rare that happens.
I think the actual plant, like the peyote plant, which might be like obviously its own thing, but you can grow that in Canada.
Yeah, there's
Legally.
actually a couple different derivatives of different strands of DMT.
Right.
So there's different tree barks, different tree roots and shit that you can get it from. There's like a toad there's
Yes.
a DMT toad. There's a
Yes.
couple different derivatives of
You
DMT.
can make it happen if you did the research. You could find it too for sure. You can figure it out.
The one I did was derived from a tree bark. I can't remember the name of the tree,
Sure.
but my friend had literally made it in his house.
Okay.
So
Devin looks fucking bored over there picking his fingernails. All right, I want to do a quick 2Ds duking out with you guys. A little game here. So we didn't do it last episode because that was more of an interview, but I want to do that this episode. So here we go. 2Ds duking it out. Okay, guys. Today's 2Ds duking out is: would you rather be completely isolated from society and human contact, as in you live by yourself, completely alone? No internet, no phone, no MSN Messenger, no Facebook Messenger, none of that. And you're just in your own world. Or would you rather be living in one big, say it's like a big 100 by, not even like a 50 by 50 building, right? No walls, and you're living with 10 random people. Completely luck of the draw, fantasy draft of people. It could be dirty people, clean people, Canadians, Mexicans, people speak English, people don't speak English,
Like Big Brother.
type of thing.
Now,
yeah.
a couple questions just
Sure.
to get both of these sides
Set some
a little structure here. So if you're isolated on your own,
Yes.
does this is this isolated alone, like in a home in the mountains? Like you still
Nope.
have like dirt bikes
Sure.
and quads and stuff. You just don't have internet.
Yeah, let's
TV,
say in both
or-
scenarios, everything is provided for you.
Okay.
Like you can do what you want, but like you're not worried about food or entertainment.
Yeah.
But you still, if you're with the people, you're with them full time, right? And if you're alone full time. But you're not trying to like survive. You're not out in the woods trying to hunt and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
assume everything is good on
Okay.
both ways. But you're in one scenario where you're with a bunch of random people, and the other you're living completely on your own.
Now with the random people, am I allowed to separate myself for them for like, let's say dinner, lunch, whatever like that? Like I go for dinner with my mom or something, so I wouldn't obviously be with the 15 people. Or is this like
I think in this scenario, you can have your mom over for dinner
with those people?
with
yeah.
those people in the room, but you can go in a corner. But there's nothing separating you guys.
So this is pretty hard for me because I'm a really social and I'm a people's person. I
Okay.
like to be with people.
Sure.
But I couldn't stand being with those people for
Full
ever
time.
or like for X amount of time
Okay.
without being able to separate myself, because as much of a people's person as I am, I greatly enjoy my me time.
Yes.
But if I were to be alone, isolated, I would get very, very sick of being isolated.
Yes.
So I think both for me, I would get very sick of both.
Okay.
In different ways.
Okay, so you can kind of go with that. What would you pick? Isolation or complete inclusion?
If I'm isolated, people know I'm there. Isolated? Like, do I exist?
Sure, everyone knows you're alive and well.
Oh.
Nobody's coming to see you though.
Yeah, no
Like,
one's coming
is
to
there-
see you.
Is there a way to, like, if I'm isolated, I don't have to pay taxes or something?
Yeah, you're sure, man.
No,
Like, you're
there's
getting too
there's no
deep here, buddy.
FaceTimes either. Like you can send a Raven, that's it.
Oh.
You're not working. You're like, say you're
Oh,
you're
know
going
what?
too
No, no,
deep
no.
with the details, but yeah.
Okay, wait. I would choose isolation,
Okay.
but I would do isolation kind of like Survivor Man, and I would
Okay.
I would like vlog me being by myself.
No, but there's no phones, no
yeah,
cameras.
I wouldn't talk to anyone like online.
You would just make the content.
I would just make the content.
It would give you something to do, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Okay, I'm choosing people because 40 years of isolation would eventually, you would go stone crazy.
Yeah.
At least with the people, yeah, they would annoy the fuck out of you all the time. Like, let's be honest, you would get annoyed of people.
Oh yeah.
Especially, like, you don't know who you're getting, right?
Yeah, it's Big Brother.
But at least I can go in that corner and stare at that wall or watch TV by myself in that corner
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. And I still have the internet, so I can still vent to my friends and shit, or I can still watch TikTok and
Yeah,
YouTube and shit.
I would do
Yeah,
like
I
would do like Castaway. I'd get a basketball, call it Wilson. Make
Devin
these
would be like
friends.
this, like loner,
I'd
like
be like
going,
Castaway.
losing his mind, like Will
You-
Smith and freaking.
You would be the star of your own movie, basically.
Yeah.
You would just pretend like you're in this movie, and you're like the hero of this film. And all right, guys, here we are. Crocky, I'm Devin. I'm in the woods. You
Yeah.
know, I would be out here. At least I'd have checkers, and I'd be playing games,
Yeah.
and I'd be doing shit like that. No.
Yeah, so I think like in the isolated reality, you turn something like Will Smith in I Am Legend, where
Sure.
you're saying hi to freaking
Yes.
dolls and shit like that. Whereas in a group, it's like you said would be very annoying. But in a way, after X amount of time, you'd grow this love-hate relationship with these people,
Sure.
right? You live with them, you're experiencing them all the time.
Thing is,
So
though,
you'd
those
grow to
people,
hate
are
/
they-
love them. You know what I mean? That's
Are they
one big
all in
family.
the same boat as you?
They're in the same boat as you. Like, they don't have lives either.
Yeah.
They barely have lives. Like, you know what I mean? They're doing the same shit. Like, this guy maybe he shits himself and he doesn't clean himself up.
Yeah.
That's a con and it's a risk you got
Or
to
maybe
take.
3 moms come over for dinner each month because your mom comes for
Sure.
dinner and then this guy's mom comes for. At least there's some stimulating socialness to
Yeah,
that. Whereas
sure.
being isolated would be nice for like a year and then I would lose my I would lose my mind.
I think you would lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Although, like, being with people might push me to murder.
Yeah.
If you have one guy, you're like, fuck that dude, man. Fuck that
I think
dude.
both you're losing your mind. But
You're going crazy either way, but
Yeah.
I will. I still want to be able to contact people. I would just fucking probably. I would hope I would get some good people. And if you're with 10 people, you're gonna hate 3 of them. Like you're gonna dislike 3 people for sure, at least.
Yeah.
And over years, maybe you would either build more resentment to other people, or you would grow good relationships with them.
yeah.
I'm hoping that I build good relationships with people, and I don't have some fucking losers in my house with me.
Yeah.
But with you don't even have the option. You're hanging out with squirrels and fucking raccoons
I'm
and
getting
shit.
in tuned with the world. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how you can put
what's
it.
that Disney movie where they control the animals or whatever?
What?
Where like they start talking to the animals and the
I don't
guy
know.
controls the animals, you know?
Disney?
I don't know that one.
It's like a Pixar or something like that.
Oh.
Something like that where
Oh, Up.
No, that's what the house that floats up with some
fuck you talking about?
balloons.
Yeah, but the guy that was there, he made all his dogs talk.
Oh, that's true. He had a thing. What, you're gonna
No, this
invent
is
that?
this is like it's like the person has the superpower to communicate with animals like that.
Okay.
I was just gonna make a joke like that's what Devin would develop.
He would have
being,
to.
Yeah.
in the forest in an isolated home for 30 years. Next thing you know, he's like best friends with a deer he goes out every day with.
I think even if there was no literal communication, you would think that you're communicating.
Yeah,
with
you'd
the
start
deer.
to think it at least. Plot
Actually,
twist,
yeah,
the deer's not
you
even
said-
there.
Yeah, so you're not completely alone because
You got animals.
you got animals.
Yeah, but animals are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
No, I would find some smart animals. Monkey.
Monkey?
monkey.
A
I guess you
parrot.
could have a
A
monkey,
parrot.
sure. You don't know the setting. It
I'll
could be
get
a jungle.
parrot.
Who
I'll get
knows?
a parrot I can talk to.
That's a loophole, you son of a bitch. That's a loophole. Fuck, okay. Well, I'm going to say I win. You guys can decide who
What
won
would
that.
you rather?
What would you rather? 2Ds duking it out. A complete isolation or live in a house with a bunch of random people? Let us know. All right, guys. Well, I think we should probably wrap this episode up here. We had some good conversations. Let us know what you think about the Cybertruck as well, because we're curious. And let us know what kind of, if you're able to do the full out-of-body experience lucid dreaming, because I've never met anyone that's been able to have that total full control over their dreams, and I would like to talk to someone about that. So let us know about that. And I didn't plug the sponsor in the start of this video, so I'm going to plug it now. Check out brokenglasssupply.ca. And like, comment, and subscribe on this channel. And if you want to see more of us 3 idiots making dumb shit, check out the Raised by Comedy everything. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Go check it all out. Some funny ass videos, and we got some funny ones coming down the pipeline as well. So go check them out. Devin and Roan. I'm Davey on everything. Thanks for coming, guys, and we'll see you next episode.
Ciao for now.
Later.
Big G's, no design on my jacket. Work hard, now I'm changing my bracket. Talk tough, we ain't hear that racket. Dogs came in, you know how to stack it. Take it wrong, but I'ma need my ends though. I got tigers on my chest like Kenzo. Rail came, yeah, he putting that Benz though. Carol's here, man, you know you stay 10 toes. Big dog, man, you know I ain't worried. Bent up, so I'm talking real slurry. Got a blast, bro, I'm always in a hurry. Big Drake, shooting dirty like Curry. Take a yerky, ain't know you stay passed up. You don't catch him late night, do you ass out? No, real, how to put the E-class up. They like, X nigga, how you take the fast ride? 2018, it was me and Big